Hello, and thank you for joining us on the Thursday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Binga Oreshegun. Today on the program, President Tinubu makes U-turn, excludes drug, firearms offenders, kidnappers from Clemency lists. And later on the show, Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris accuses United States lawmakers of relying on inaccurate, misleading data to make Christian genocide claim against Nigerian government. Well, I'll be hanging out with Adekunle Yusuf and Asupo James. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. The power of a presidential pardon is a test of leadership, weighing the virtues of mercy against the demands of justice. President Bola Tinubu is demonstrating this balance by ordering a significant review of a list of individuals recommended for clemency. After consulting with the Council of State and considering public sentiment, the president has directed that offenders convicted of serious crimes such as kidnapping, fraud, drug offences and human trafficking be removed from the list. Now, for some others, their sentences were commuted to reduced jail terms. According to a statement from the presidential aide, Bayo Ononuga, the revision is intended to show respect for victims and underscore the gravity of these crimes. The updated list is now with the Nigerian Correctional Service for implementation, while the Attorney General has been tasked with creating stricter guidelines for future pardon recommendations, ensuring input from prosecuting agencies. Okay, gentlemen, I don't know where should I start this time because I saw you guys do it. But all right, I'll start with you, Adekunle. First of all, talk to me. Are you happy that the president reviewed this list?
Very happy. Yes. What happened was a sad, thing that we were able to include, people involved in extreme crimes, drug-related offenses, and all of that. And is it in a democracy, the voice of the people,
the voice of God?
You see a president that listens to the voice of the people. You see a president that has shown that people in government are not infallible, that they are ordinary folks, they can make mistakes. And the best way to do it is, correct the mistakes. You can now go deeper that why did it happen in the first place, but my takeaway, what makes me happy is that President Tinubu has shown leadership by, correcting the mistakes in the first exercise. I think it was about 175, and many of those that were not supposed to enjoy that powers of the president, clemency, because truly, what is clemency all about? In the court, they tell you, temper justice with mercy and all of that. It's an extension of that, dictum that some people need a second chance. And in life, some truly deserve a second chance. And that's why the framers of our constitution envisage that, as the president of Nigeria, the power to do this is yours and nobody else. But that power is not arbitrary. It must be done within certain, rules of, decency, law, international, feelings and all of that. So now, when it was done, I won't say everybody because many people were happy. There were many people who said no. So the point that makes me happy most is that, one, you acknowledge that a mistake has been made. Then two, going forward, there's a reform. Because what happened was very, very sad for our country. That people involved in drug trafficking. Here is a country that is still battling with kidnapping crisis. We are still having drug trafficking issues. We're having terrorism. We're having a lot. So some of the people who are convicted of these heinous crimes, the president, according to the release, the first one, not the latest one, pardoned them. No, that's an assault to our legislature.
Yeah.
So now, going forward, you now said, okay, you are going to do a reform, and part of the reform is taking the power of doing this from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, special duties, you know, to the Ministry of Justice, because we need accountability, we need transparency. Who and who in the first place, you know,
smuggled those names.
I've seen many people, or let me say, I've seen some people who have been privileged to be involved in this kind of tasks before, maybe at the state or federal level. And they've come out to say that the governor that signs or the president that signs most times don't get involved in all the
whole process.
So they just believe in the team or the committee that did the job.
And they did a good job, and they just
whoever the committee that did this shoddy job, the first one, Nigerians are not proud of them, and the president has shown
that he's not happy with them.
I mean, Asukwa, when the first list came out, there was a lot of comments, and it was really embarrassing to the presidency, the government. But do you think thorough investigation should be done to fish out, you know, the people involved in embarrassing the government?
No, of course, definitely, because it was a global embarrassment. It's not just only in Nigeria that people were talking about it. Outside Nigeria, they are actually, you know, asking those critical questions. That did your president free drug addicts and kidnappers? You know, so it wasn't something that anybody who loves this administration even wanted to hear, particularly at this point. You know, and what happened? Just like you said, the president needs to crack the whip. Those who were in the committee who actually included names that were not supposed to be there. Now, hold on. So many people are saying, you said something, which is a second chance. God gives everybody a second chance. But there are some people who don't deserve a second chance for now. It's called mercy. People I've heard so many people say, it's mercy. It's God's mercy. The president has, you know, the power based on the constitution to give that mercy. But there are some people who, for now, do not deserve that mercy. And there are some people who deserve that mercy. So, but those who start, you know, to write names of people who do not deserve that mercy at this particular time are the people that should be punished. The president should not just sweep it under the carpet. There are some people who, because the president have given them this job to do, they have found themselves, you know, to do the things that are wrong. At some point when these names came out, I had some, you know, discussion with some people, and the first thing that came to mind was, does the president have like an ombudsman in most of either the names of ministers, names of, you know, people he nominates or even appoints? Because all the time you hear that the president has made a name or has released a name, and then the next day they change the name. Does he have somebody somewhere who is actually checking these things for him? Just like he said, the president will just sit there. He has so many things. There are some lists or names or things that they will send to him. He believes that people who he has appointed are doing the right thing.
All right, looking at that point you've made, do you think members of the Prerogative of Mercy board or committee, do you think it should be expanded? You know, to include either civil society, the media,
including the media.
You know, to make it more inclusive.
Yes, including the media, because there are several investigative journalists. Even Adekunle here can be made a member of the committee. There are so many veteran journalists, you know, that can be made members of the committee who have either done stories on people who maybe deserve it or might not deserve it.
You think ABK will do a good job there?
They are veteran journalists. And so when I say veterans, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So they will be the ones, they would have done investigation to track that, oh, this particular person did this. And not only that, prosecuting agencies must be part of it. I think that is part of the reforms. Because, for instance, look at one of the names of the previous list of somebody who killed a police officer who was involved in firearms, you know, and so many things. At the end of the day, they were even jubilating for his release back there in the South. You know, so it shows that there's something wrong. And I just want to commend the president for taking the initiative to look at the list, to review the list again, because this would have been, it was not just good at all.
It was really embarrassing, but in expanding this list, this board.
You see, you are making a case about maybe the president should actually punish those who made him, you know, to be embarrassed and all of that. See, some of these jobs are not permanent, just one-off thing that people to do. I think we need to make the process from being ad hoc something to something that can be permanent. Now, I think the process has started. If I didn't see the statement saying that they are moving it from special duties, you know, section to, you know, Ministry of Justice and all of that, I will be one of those that will still criticize the, you know. But now, a lot of progress is being made. Now, before you do it, you will consult, you know, Council of State and all of this. Then, going forward from the statement, the security agencies will also vet it. Whatever the list they're coming up with, that will give more transparency
and credibility
because the concept of clemency must respect, one, the offender, the victims, and the interests of the society. In the case of a drug offender, the society doesn't benefit anything. Those are not the ones
that need second chance.
Go and read it again. Those are not the ones that deserve a second time. I mean, a second chance. Not everybody deserves a second chance. We must take that. But there are some, there's a young lady, I think 37 years old, who killed allegedly her husband and all of that. And since I think the matter started in 2017, and you see a lot of, but now, she was included in the first list. And you look deeply, you will realize that have you taken the interest of the husband's family, their feelings into consideration? Because the clemency says you must consider the interest, one, of the offender, of the victim, and of the society. So at the end of the day, it was commuted from death or whatever to about 12 years. She has spent some years in prison already. And what's the presidency, you know, saying that, one, these are young couples, they are children who will take care of. We don't have the kind of structures that can take care of their children. To me, that makes some sense. But in the first one, no.
Well, it didn't make
no.
All right,
so we have made a lot of progress on this. And those who are trying to score some political gains, these are not political issues.
Yes, of course.
It's our country. And let's all work on to strengthen our institutions.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation.